Hey, hey, hey. How are we doing today? And I look so white on my TikTok. I think it's because the sun is already out and it's just, hmm, so take it down a couple of notches. Okay. How are we doing today? Feeling a little emotional? Yeah. Well, we're going to start with just doing some breathing. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like today we just take a moment before I get into anything and say, welcome. Hi, I'm spiritual coach Ari Mack. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people directly and indirectly achieve their personal goals through my affirmation, aromatherapy, and astrology information. The stars talk to us. It's the truth. And if you learn how to listen, I can help you pick the best days for your strategy, give you affirmations to keep your insights calm, and teach you what aromatherapy can do for you on a day-to-day basis to keep you calm. Now, we're going to start off today with just some breathing before we get into today's subject. I think we just need to calm down and center. I've been hearing a lot, been watching a lot on TV. You can't control anything but yourself. Okay. So let's start with taking a deep breath in and then release. Another deep breath in. Hold it and then release. Now, I know that this world can be very stressful. I get that. And I know there's a lot of things that happen to our family and friends that we cannot control. But in order for us to be a help to anyone, is we have to help ourselves first. So this next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to be sharing some tidbits and some information that could help you find more mental balance. That's my specialty. I can feel the emotions going on around me. I can feel the disharmony when people are like going over the edge. And right now in this world, we have a lot of emotions coming down. I'll tell you the astrology in just a little bit. But as this information is coming, you have to make a decision on what to do with it. Now, I created some programs from meditations, so group meditation, these are all online, and a program I call the GAP, the Guided Astrology Program. And basically, that program gives you weekly cheat sheets, okay, to help you know how to balance some of the things that's happening to you on a weekly basis. See, I believe Spirit gave us all the tools we need to be successful and to be happy and to be healthy. But we have free will. Free will. And that sometimes is influenced by things around us, our childhood, our financials, and on and so forth. But if you can learn to balance your insides and quiet that negative, ugly, vicious voices that's telling you to do all kinds of heinous things, which you have the right to feel. Do not discount that because you have a right to feel how you feel. It's what you do with that feeling that moves you towards your goals or against your goals. So, once again, we're going to take a deep breath in and then release. One more deep breath in, hold it, and then release. And just shake it out. Shake your hands out, move your neck around, and just be here. Okay, just be here right now with me while we talk this out. Okay, so let's start with, have you drinking enough water today? I know it seems sound obvious, like not a big deal, but this plays a big factor in your mental well-being. I know people who have nervous twitches when they don't get enough awa in their system. Like they literally become so dehydrated, they start saying and do things because they're pissed off. So just make sure you're drinking at least 64 ounces of water in a 24-hour window. That's reasonable. That's reasonable, is it not? And you can do that. Okay. Now, just going over the stars real quick. First of all, happy birthday to all my cancers. Happy birthday, water babies. And the thing with you right now, Cancer, is that Jupiter is sitting on top of you. So, right now, as we sit at this moment in time, we have the sun transitioning to Cancer as we speak. The moon, as we speak right now, is also in Cancer, Mercury, how we think, is also in Cancer. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is also in Taurus. Excuse me, also in Cancer. Now that's quite a bit of water from my sister's sign, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because water deals with our emotions. And the thing about Cancer is it's ruled by the moon. So that means every few days the moon shifts. So that's why people think Cancers can be very moody, but they're actually very protective, very homebound, very family oriented. I know they can be fussy, but they're very driven and very determined. So the energy we have right now in Jupiter is coming down as being more family oriented, more pushing for us to do things that are for the bigger picture, not just for ourselves. And mothers or motherly energy, and this goes for daddies too, is going to be high, high, high. Why? Because we're all connected now on a deeper emotional level on an international basis. So you can play for your country, you can play for your race, you can play for your gender, you can play for your lifestyle, but we're all still going to be connected on some level. So make sure you're holding on to that. Make sure you're keeping your humanities together. Continuing, Uranus and Venus are both in Taurus. So my Tauruses, you're going to be like bouncing. Embrace it. Embrace it because there's a lot of changes happening around you and you can't do anything about it. But if you embrace it on the inside, you'll find that they won't be so hard to deal with on the outside, especially if it's stuff that you cannot control. We got Saturn and Neptune both in Aries. Go over that a little bit. And then Pluto in Aquarius. Mars is in Virgo. So we got a lot of earth and water going down with that fire. So we're going to be very emotional, very, and then we have to kind of wait and figure out the best way to do things. Isn't that one of the hardest things to do is to hurry up and then wait? Well, the universe does that with us all the time. Just because you plan something doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just because you put some effort behind things doesn't mean the universe is going to give it to you. But here's what I do know. If you find your flow, right, where you're not beating your head against a wall, but you're actually dealing with the process of this emotional up and down, because it is up and down, you'll find yourself being a little bit less upset because you're giving yourself a chance to process just a few moments, 10, 15 minutes, before you so quickly respond to people and situations that you may not be able to take back. And that's the truth. Once you say something, you're speaking it into the universe. That's the power of affirmations. That is the power you have right now within you. So if you say everything's sucky and everything's going to heck, everything's sucky and everything's going to heck. You've already said it. You're creating it. You're going to support it. You're going to go after it. It's like when people don't believe facts and figures, it's some sad shit, but it's true. When you actually show them this is what needs to be done, this is how it needs to be done, this is what's happening right now, and then they choose to discard you, discount you, deny you. No, no, it can't be true. I don't want to hear it. That's not what I want. Well, it is what's happening. And you have to grow up. And I know there's a lot of immature people in this world. And there will always be a lot of immature people in this world. But the difference is you don't have to be one of them. You don't have to cater to them. You don't have to bow down to them, anything. Just keeping your poise, keeping that dignity is going to change the whole vibe. Because, see, negative energy needs positive to survive. Positive energy does not need negativity to survive. Just think about that for a second. Really sink that in. Like, absorb that. Just absorb it. Now I'm going to ask quickly, what signs do we have in the house today? Do we have any Cancers? Any water signs? Any Scorpios, Pisces? No? Okay. How about some Earth? Got some Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo? Any of those? Okay. Well, if you get a chance, chime in. Let me know what's in the house, and I'll try to see if I can pull something up for you. But as we speak right now, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Okay. It's normally rules Sagittarius in astrology, but it's actually a planet. It's one of the biggest planets we got in our solar system. It's a big ass planet. Okay. It rules expansion, hopes, dreams, uh, the law, anything that deals with growth. Jupiter's got it. Okay, I got a Taurus in the house. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to go let you know something just a little bit here. Well, Jupiter now has moved into the sign, the planet Jupiter moved into the sign of Cancer. Now, Cancer is very emotional. It rules home, heart, family, friends, securities, siblings. Okay, we got a Cancer in the house over here. It's, oh, a true one. 717. Hey, hey, your birthday's coming up. Okay. With this much Cancer we have going on right now in our universe, we're forced to learn what family is and connect with each other in ways we've never considered, never thought about. Because on a lot of levels, we're all the same, you guys. We're all the same. We may have different skin colors, different genders, but we still want love. We want peace, good food, and plenty of money so you can do anything that you want to do. When I say plenty, that means enough to cover all your expenses, have some for the side, and then have what I call FO money, fuck off money, where you can just go and fuck it off and it won't matter. Okay? Well, when Cancer is sitting in this position, it makes us deal with our family. 14 years ago, or 10 years, no, 12 years ago, I remember some big family dramas happening, and we all had to come together. Well, we're going to be doing the same now. Hey, sweetie, I'm doing the same now. Because with Jupiter being back in Cancer, it's going to affect all of us because they're for one full year. One full year. So, Cancer, if you have a project that you want, if there's something that you've been wanting to do, you need to pay attention to what I'm saying because this next year you have an abundance of opportunities, but you got to know how to deal with it and you got to have your goals together because that's the other thing. The universe can present to you with all kinds of blessings, but if your ass is not ready to do anything with it, and if you have a Cancer moon, you're also going to be getting some expansion as well because that Jupiter's sitting right on top of you. It's a beautiful thing. I personally think it could be great for healing, especially if you've been a mother and maybe you weren't such a great mother or you need a second chance at being a better mother. This will give you that energy because it's going to make you look inside to see what is the best course of action if you can keep from losing your freaking mind. Now, another thing is you got to cover your belly. Cancer rules the stomach. Okay. So it's very important in this next year that you watch what you're eating. All right. You cannot be eating garbage or you shouldn't be eating garbage because you're going to be got garbage. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to be healthy, this is a time for you to start looking at what you're putting in your mouth because it's coming out through your skin, your hair, and your butthole all at the same time. I hope that made you laugh because that's funny. I made it funny. Now, the thing I'm trying to get you guys to understand is you can take care of yourself starting with your mentals more than anything else. Yes, because your mental game got to get tight. It's got to get tight. It's got to get tight. Listen, I have watched the news. I have sit and listened to family and friends with all the rhetoric that they got to go through. And I'm telling you, it's very easy to get pissed off and go right or left or show your ass. Oh, you got Crohn's disease. Yes, baby girl, you're going to have to take care of yourself. But you have an opportunity if you stay on top of it to actually find that balance so you can control how the disease is affecting you because you can't dink around at all with your diet, not even a little bit. Okay. So the universe gives us these cheat sheets in the form of astrology, aromatherapy, and affirmation. I'm the queen at this. That's why I'm a spiritual life coach because putting those together, that's an art in itself. Did you know astrology can tell you your best days, your worst days? Mhm. It can actually pinpoint so much more information than you could possibly ever imagine. Now, I put together a program. It's called The Gap. That's what we call it, the Guided Astrology Program. And this program, which is available right now for $9.99, it's an intro price, okay, will give you some insight because it's a weekly Zoom cheat sheet forecast to let you know what's up per sign, per planet, and overall what's going on with you. No problem. All good home cooked meals. Yes, funny. I'm looking for a bird truck. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now, energetically, we can't afford to just be willy nilly and hope everything works out. That's not where we are anymore. We have to make some conscious decisions. And see, the beautiful part about the internet is that we have it at our fingertips, guys. You can get the information from me. You could research it yourself. Lord knows YouTube has got every single subject covered, and it's a beautiful thing. You have to validate. You have to validate. Make sure it's a source that's reliable and consistent. But once you do find it, baby, and all I want to do is to make sure you're getting the best possible information. Now, I've done podcasts on iHeart for over 8 years. I got over 300 episodes up. Check those out. I teach meditation classes online. I say guide you through it because most of the time it's like going to a chiropractor where you just relax, sit, and just let me take you into your inner space. We actually have a class coming up this Sunday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Check it out on my website, candlesbyari.com. Okay. Anyway, with the GAP program, it takes all the knowledge that I've had over these years and consolidates it to give you insight, to give you that forecast, and more importantly, give you that mental balance so you have something that's just your secret weapon to keep you from showing your assets. That's what I call it, showing your assets. Because it's easy to show your assets. It is. Just let yourself lose your temper. Next thing you know, you just said some jacked up shit and people are looking at you crazy and then they wonder what just happened. I say before you give that power away, you slow it down. Now, from my earth signs, this is my Tauruses, my Capricorn, and my Virgis. Your emotions are going to be high because you can't control everything. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe. I know you want to like get in there, say some things, do some things, and then that's not how the universe works. If you're hearing my voice right now, then you know you have a bigger calling coming up. You know that energy is coming towards you that you need to balance out so that you can parlay it. Okay? Taurus, Sun, Capricorn. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. Glad you're following me, sweetie, stay, because you need to join my circle. Okay? You need to join the gap straight out. Trust me. Because this energy, guys, is to move humanities forward. Humanities. That's just not us. That's the future generations coming up. And even though there's some people got some doom and gloom and want to say everything's going to hell, and I truly believe mental illness is no joke. Okay, because I've talked to some pretty intelligent people that are batshit crazy. Okay, okay, I just saw you the church. I just awesome sauce. My Capricorn eyes on Taurus. Interesting. Okay, all right. Now, as we connect more and as you start seeing more progression, I'm very fortunate. I've had clients for over 15, 20 years that I've watched them go from being single to married, some married to divorce, their kids growing up. I've been to bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, weddings, anniversary parties, retirement parties. I'm fortunate. I'm highly favored and divinely blessed. But this didn't come without work, guys. Lots and lots of work and time and energy, which I take that and I put it into that program. And basically, all you do is get the Zoom every week and check it out. Now, in my programs, there's also other benefits because you get a chance to interact with me in different Zoom situations in the future. And that's where we get to, share information. Now, I always try to keep things general when we're in a big session because I have over 500 people that I've done natal charts for over the years. So I have a database with a little bit of everybody's sign with different moons, different sun placements, Venus placements. So that's where I get my data from. And of course, from my prayers and meditation. I don't suggest you guys to just pray and meditate. I do it myself on a day to day, hourly basis. I shid you not. It keeps me from losing my ever loving freaking mind. All right. Because I'm human too. Yes, I've been blessed and fortunate, and I can tune in, and I'm blessing that you can learn to tune into yourself more and get that grounding, stay in that centered space. Because, guys, it's only going to get more intense. It's only going to get more intense. So, if you learn how to balance with what's happening and make decisions to keep things from going too far south, because you don't want to be in hell, right? You don't want your life to completely fall apart just because you stop trying, because that's the number one thing I see that really hurts people is they just stop believing in themselves. They stop trying. And maybe you've had family members that are completely putrid. Who doesn't have somebody in their family that doesn't show their ass? Okay? Good for you, sweetie. Grounding is important, very important. Without grounding and understanding, look, I'm a metaphysical teacher. I've seen the power of my words. I've seen them come good. I've seen them come bad. I've seen people go from being extremely well off to mentally distorted all in one shot. I can't tell you why, because a lot of times it's an internal dialogue with self. But I've seen some people that have gone through things that, and at the hand of people who love them, victimized by the family and friends that are supposed to be there to take care of you and watch over you. And you know what they end up doing? Treating you like complete doo doo. No, we can't let that slide anymore. We have to be a part of the solution. And a part of that is taking care of you first. See, because without this and without this, if your heart and your mind and your spirit is not in attunement, you will say one thing and do something else and end up putting yourself in complete hell. Now, if you like being in hell, knock yourself out. I wish you well. Please keep me posted. Me personally, I don't think it's good for my skin. I'll be honest with you. Whenever things go too far left, the first thing's affected is my skin. I start breaking out. I start not sleeping very well, not eating well, and next thing I know, I'm in complete doo doo land and got a fucked up attitude about it. So for me, this is not just talking. Okay, this is not just talking. This is a way of life. I am being myself, taking future and further away from. Hey, sometimes you gotta leave family be, but this Jupiter configuration, though, is going to have you interact with them on a mental level. When I say mental, that means you may have to pray for them. You may have to find some peace with maybe their choices. A lot of times we get upset because we see people we love going down the wrong path and we want to stop them and scream at them. Let me tell you, the hardest part about my job is I can't make anybody do anything that I think they should do. I know that sounds sucky, I mean, but it's true. I want everybody to be okay. I want everybody to thrive and to reach their goals and just hit that mecca of like peace. Because if you're peaceful, you'll be happy, and if you're happy, you won't walk around doing stupid shit, right? Because you're in a good space and things are good and life is moving forward, right? That's the dream. That's the fantasy. That's what we should want. But a lot of times when somebody's miserable, unhappy, angry, and really ain't done diddly nor squat to improve themselves, hey, Harmony, thanks for joining. Appreciate the gifts. Love you. Thank you. They don't fare well. And let me tell you something. If you hold on too much to negativity, it will eventually show up in your body. I have seen it. I have seen it over and over again. There was a story I read about a lady who received a great deal of money but didn't want to spend it on her family and friends. She wanted to hoard it. Even though it was a holiday time, even though it was gift giving time, she chose not to give one penny away. Her son asked her, could they spend $500 on dinner? She said no. That night, someone broke into their house and took all of her money. So the $500 that she would have spent on her family that they would have had, she chose to hold on to it, and spirit came and took all of it away from her. And they thought it had to be someone close to her because they knew exactly where it was hidden. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that's what people do when they see you have and they can't have, and then they become angry with you. They start sending you negative energy and they start justifying their behavior, why they should treat you bad, why they should act like you're an ass. You're the one that's got to decide if you're going to accept it. Now, psychologically, you need to invest in your well being. Now, spiritually speaking, look, I've seen people don't even have arms and legs that are killing it. Okay. I mean, they got family, they got friends, they have more activities than I do. Why? Because their mental and their spiritual's tight. They don't look for somebody else to tell them that they're okay. They told themselves they were going to be okay. And they're living with their handicap. You understand what I'm saying? Not at this time, but if you DM me, IM me, I'll hit you a little bit later. Okay? So As we gear up for this energy, I'm asking you to get serious about where you're going. What are your goals here? What are you trying to make happen? Like, really, seriously. This is the informational format right now. Now, when I look at this, I see a lot of misinformation, and I mean it, guys. I see a lot of people blowing smoke, saying things that are not true. Always check your sources, always validate. Don't assume. Don't assume. When you assume, you make asses out of you and out of the person. And it's not their fault because we are human. Okay. So everybody just tries to, like, oh, okay, well, I believe her, or I believe this, or I believe that. And we want to go with it, right? When in reality, maybe it's not the way they said it. I live in Los Angeles. And the way it plays out on the news, every part of the city is being invaded by the military and the National Guard. That is not happening. That is not now. They are doing some nasty shit. I'm not gonna lie about that. But it's not in every part of the city. And I still travel around the city and I still go around the city. California is a huge state, guys. LA is a huge county. And we got supporting cities around us. But the way it's projected out, you think it was chaos and mayhem, and it's not. It's not. And that's what I'm saying. You got to stop and look at your sources. You got to, like, do your checks and balance. Are you being told the truth? And what point of view are people coming for you? Okay? Are they coming for you in a happy point of view? Like, this is a reliable source, a loving source? Or are they trying to captivate you for some other reason, which is their own personal gains? Now, with Saturn being in Aries and Neptune being in Aries, there's going to be a lot of illusions. Aries, you're going to feel like you're invincible. Pisces, you're going to feel like you can just take on the world. While Saturn and and Aries are going to be going through some battles. It can also give you a sense of overachieving, maybe taking on too much. So I need you to pace yourself. Now, one of the things I'd recommend is try to write down whatever's bothering you before you go to sleep at night. Okay. Now you have a recording system. You can use your phones. It doesn't matter. But try to spend a little bit of time thinking about what's bothering you and writing it down. And when you get up in the morning, you need to look at the very first thing that pops up. The very first thing that pops up in your mind. You can record it, you could write it down, because usually that's a signal, that's a sign. See, when we go into deep sleep, it gives our body and mind a chance to work out some of the stress magnets, some of the details. When we go into deep REM, and that's REM sleep. That's when you are seriously out and your body's completely at ease. You want to go there at least 2 or 3 times during the week. I suggest try to get 6 to 7 hours, minimum 8. But I know some of us are busy, so 6 to 8 would be the perfect a day. And that include cat naps, guys. You can take a 15-minute nap, you can take a 10-minute nap, and just relax. But more importantly, I need to ask you, what are you affirming to? What are you asking for? What are you looking for in your existence? Because, see, my air signs, that's my Geminis, my Aquariuses, and my Libras. You guys are dealing with so much emotional garbage right now, and it's not your fault, but you are absorbing the intellectual aspects of what's happening in the world, and that can be a very overwhelming, especially with Pluto in Aquarius going backwards. Now, my Scorpios, I just need you to do more investigation before you speak out loud. Okay? With Cancer ruling us right now, and happy birthday, Cancer. Mwah. Happy birthday. And I want you guys to have the best birthday. Make a wish that you can attain and really visualize yourself sitting on that beach in Hawaii, or hitting that lotto, or just finding your new love, whatever it is that you want. Really focus on that right now, Cancers, because the sun is all giving you favor. Okay. And Lord knows we need you. We need that loving light. We need that positive vibrational energy, because we need love. All of us. Way more than we'd like to admit. But you know what? The universe does hear us. I am a walking, living testimony that if you stay faithful to you and do right by yourself and make sure you let others know your healthy boundaries, healthy, that means you're not allowing yourself to be victimized, and you're not victimizing other people. Okay. Aw, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I truly do. Because energy right now, guys, is so precious. Sometimes I just sit and cry. I'm not going to lie. I literally sit and cry when I hear some of the stories that's going on in our world, some of the battles that people are going through. My heart goes out to them. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Because I want everybody to be okay. If I had my way, we'd all have nice cars, nice homes, buffets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and parties every night in the evening. So we all have something to look forward to. Kids would be educated on how to be respectful and learn the craft that they're good at and keep them going. My world would not be utopias because you still have to work. You still have to get up. You still have to clean it. You have to wipe your ass, and you got to eat your fruits and vegetables. That would be my world. The emotional part, I think that's just human. We have to grow. We have to develop. You know that. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate your gifts. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate. I truly do. But I'm a spiritual warrior, and I don't like to lose. Oh, trust me. Wow, some of my friends and family members, and even some of my clients have called me stockish because I do have that. If you come into my arena, then you know what's up, friend or foe. Do you want to learn? You want to grow? I'm down. If not, please move. Just keep it going. We don't need to be ugly. We don't need to talk bad to each other. None of that stuff. If we don't have the same philosophies, lifestyle, understanding, it's cool. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I just want you to be happy. And if that means you're finding another energy worker to work with or another spiritual coach, by all means, blessings. And I hope you guys have a great time. I truly do, with all my heart. Because if there's one thing I want, is I want you, whoever's hearing this, to get better, to grow stronger, and get out of your own way, man. Stop undermining yourself. Man, we have the most negative energy. And women, I'm going to stop and say just for a second, love you dudes, but this is for the ladies. Stop taking so much shit on. Stop owning everybody else's failure. Stop feeling like you're not enough. I want you to look at yourself at some point today, all right? And I want you to say, you beautiful. You are freaking hot. Because if you don't say it, ain't nobody gonna say it to you. It used to trip me out when I first got to California because I'm from Texas. And I have never been no petite thing. I have always been full figured, little thick Amazonic because I used to lift weights. And trust me, I studied karate for a little bit and I had an older brother. So my brother taught me how to fight because he didn't have a brother. So he treated me like I was a boy. I was a tomboy till I was about 10 or 12. Then I got chi-chis that made me go in the house. When I got to LA, I was always astonished that whenever I went out on a date, that that the guys would think that I was going to order a salad or I was going to, have a soup or something. I would order filet mignon. I'd order the biggest pasta. I would tear up an In-N-Out burger, and they would just look at me saying, "Most women don't eat." And I'm like, and that's probably why they stupid, because they hungry. They hungry. And I do believe that now, since we got the stomach, which is what cancer rules, is number one on the priority, we need to look and take better care of our physical beings. So I'm gonna challenge you. Because inside the Gap program, the guided astrology program, which is on sale for $9.99 right now, get it at Countess Bahari. All right. We talk about aromatherapy and diet. I love to cook. So I like to give recipes that can help you, stay balanced. You don't have to spend a lot on food to eat healthy. You actually don't. You just have to plan it and have your seasonings and your techniques down to make it taste flavorful, whatever it is. I can make anything taste decent. And if you take me someplace and let me eat, I can probably figure out how to duplicate it. I am a Pisces sun sign. So I'm Miss Emotional. Okay. I'm Miss Sensitive. I'm the empathic one. When I was a little girl in the family, they used to take me, take me to picnics and have me smell the different foods to see if they were spoiled or not. Yeah, I was that kid. And I was always the one saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. But I was fortunate because I had a grandmother who had her own business. And so she could spend as much time as she wanted with me or her other grandkids. I adored her. So I would sit at her feet, literally sit at her feet while she was working. And I could hear her thoughts. I can hear her say, I'm hungry. I can hear her say, this lady's going to be late. I thought everybody could. I honestly didn't know until I got about 8 or 9 that not everybody had that internal gift. And that's when it grew a little bit more. And I started hearing different things in my head. And I had to really pray on how to manage it because it can be overwhelming, especially when you care about people. But what I've learned is how to ground myself, which I teach to all my students, how to put that protected white light around you, giving you that centered so you're not hurting anybody, but you're also not accepting a bunch of bullshit either. You're finding that balance, which is all this is about. It's all it's about. And affirming, guys, affirming for what you want with clarity and understanding. That is true power. That is true power. Because then you can conjure up whatever you want. I got the same interest from my person. Yeah. Because when you connect, you connect. Now, my goal is to help 5,000 people this year through my GAP program attain their personal goals. Mhm. But you have to join. You have to be part of it. We have to discuss it. You have to find your rhythm because I respect choice. Hey, you got to stay wherever you are. You got to start wherever you are, and you got to take those baby steps. All I ask is to try the program for 30 days, listen to the Zooms, apply some of the information, take notes of some of the dates, and just see what happens. I mean, worst case, if your life gets better, okay, if things start improving, that's not bad. It's an intro price of $9.99. Then it goes up to $29.99, but that's still less than $10 a week for your personal peace of mind. And I don't know about you, but peace is priceless where I sit. I have seen chaos. I have been in unhealthy relationships. I know what it's like to have to pull your head out of your ass when all you want to do is crawl into a corner and literally just pass the fuck out. I'm a mom, so I know what it takes to have to pull it together because you got little people who need you no matter what. And even when they grow, my daughters are independent young ladies now. They still want to check in. They still want to ask me questions. And that's what I've always wanted for them to know that I wasn't just their mother, but their friend. But that took years, guys, years of concentrated work. And they know how to affirm, they know how to pray, they know how to center themselves, especially when it's important. I'm proud to say both of them are doing exactly what they want to do. And that's through all the techniques that I talk about in the GAP program. See, peace is an ongoing thing. It just doesn't stop and start. And with all this water coming down, especially for this next year with Cancer being in Jupiter, we got to do better. We got to take this opportunity to clean our house and get stuff straight. Go to candlesbyra.com and look for the GAP logo and tap it. And you can start right there. It goes out once a week, usually on Monday, usually Mondays. I try to do it over the weekend, but this weekend we're doing meditation class, and you can also join that, and that's going to be live, like I said. And I have an on-demand library, and that library is available for my VIPs. That's people who are actually a part of my circle that are receiving my emails, that are joining in. You guys get all kinds of good stuff because you're inside, and I'm like your big sister or nice auntie or your cousin who just wants to send you love and light. And when you're around me, I want you to feel good. I want you to think positive. Even if you're having a shitty day, we're going to leave that at the door. We're going to find some good here. Okay. Because that's what this is about, guys. This is about creating that vibration so strong around us that even when you have crappy days, they're okay. They're okay. Because you know what? They don't happen that often when you start getting into your groove. Like once you start seeing your rhythm, you start understanding how you make up things, what's going on within you. And this is just general. The gap is like a general synopsis for all forecasts. Now, if you have a specific question inside the gap, I can do my best to answer that, but I do need a natal chart. Now, your natal chart is when you were born, it's where the stars fell. the longitude and latitude, and it goes into numbers. Those numbers give me an idea of how close different signs were in different planets so that I can understand a little bit more about how you think and how you process. It's not an exact science, but it's pretty damn close. And I've seen some people that have figured out that they weren't crazy. Folks that their parents told them to go to school, let's just say to be a doctor. And they did. They had the grades, they did the whole nine. But guess what? They hated being a doctor, hated it. Didn't like bodily fluids, just end up being a chef. Who'd have thunk it, right? But they did what they were supposed to do. They followed the protocols, right? And then one day realized that the protocols didn't apply to them. They're like, wow, damn, I did all this and now I'm sitting here with not what I want. But here's the beautiful part: you showed that you could do it. You focused and you did what you set out to do. Now you take that same energy, right? And then you put it into what you really love or what you really want to see happen. Booyah. Just like how you manifested the other stuff that you weren't sure about, you can do the same with the energy you need. And that's why I created the gap, because there's a gap between manifestation and those prayers. And it's us, guys. It's how we look at everything every day. It's how our mentals accept defeat. Did you learn from your mistakes, or are you going to keep doing the same damn thing over and over again? Because if something keeps happening to you, it's no longer the universe's fault. You're allowing it. Yeah. You got some little fetish with why this stuff is interesting, so you tend to stick to that. And let me tell you something about relationships, because during this Cancer period, people are going to be very emotional and they're going to need to know how you really feel about them. So if you're interested in falling in love or starting a relationship, make sure you're clear about what you want. Don't bring somebody in that cares more for you than you for them. That's some negative karma crap. Just telling you that right now, because that person's trying to be what you want them to be, but you're not being honest with them. So make sure you're tuning in. Make sure you're honest. And if you really genuinely don't feel the same way, let them go. I promise you, it is better for you to let that person go and let the universe bring you the person you really are supposed to be with, and let that person find who they're supposed to be with. And it's all choice, it's all free will, because I know everybody can do what they want and stay in a relationship regardless if it's good or bad. I hear you. But it's a lot better. It's a lot better if you have that honesty, that I've heard some really sad stories recently about people literally giving away their money, their home, their family, their securities to people that they meet on the internet. They've never seen them, but these people call them and text them all the time, and send them gifts through Federal Express and stuff, and they become their love interest without physically being there for them. And eventually they become so emotionally dependent on that phone call or that text every day that that's their lifeline to the world. I have a case right now where one of my clients' mother is mentally unstable now because she's an older lady in her early 70s, and she met someone online, nobody knows how, and she fell for him. Guys, she gave away all of her savings. She stopped paying her bills and kept thinking that this person was going to come visit her and come visit her and come visit her. It never happened. Now, eventually, they did get control of her finances and they did get her into the right medical facility. But the toll that is taken on the family ain't no joke. They got a lot of healing because now they know that even though their mother is brilliant, and she was, and was a top notch professional for many years, like over 30 years, she was lonely. She didn't tell anybody what her needs were. She stopped letting people love her. So when this person came in from out of nowhere, they think that they met on TikTok or something like that, and started just calling her and checking in on her and trying to befriend her, it melted her heart. Guys, it melted her heart because she didn't have that. No one knew that she didn't have it. Everybody assumed that she was independent and she was fine. Don't we do that all the time? Don't we put out this image that we're together and everything's great, but deep in your heart, it's not so great? Matter of fact, it fucking sucks. Well, you need to have a place where you can be that honest, because you don't want that shit to fester. I'm telling you, eventually it takes a toll somewhere in your mind and body. My particular friend's mother, she also had an anger problem because she was resentful of all the things she had to do, what she considers survival. By all accounts, she was a brilliant businesswoman. Okay. But for her, she said she had to sacrifice a lot. And you know what? That is her point of view. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, did it eventually drive her batshit crazy and lead her to making choices to give men money that she didn't have, that she'd never met? Yeah, that's the toll that that kind of pain can take on you. Yeah. You stay in agony too long, guys. You stay sad too long. You start thinking that's normal. And humans, we're adaptable. We some interesting creatures. We can adapt to just about anything you throw at us. And ladies, with Jupiter being in Cancer, I need you to stand up and take better care of you. That's getting your nails done, even if you do them yourself. Okay? Taking care of your skin. That's not a big deal. There's a bunch of things. DM me and I will send you a couple recipes that you probably can use stuff you have in your house to do a facial at home. Okay? Nothing major, nothing crazy. Keep it simple. That's why I talk about aromatherapy, because it's all a part of our healing. But we got to decide to do it together. This Cancer sun sign in this position, which I'm kind of tickled about, is giving us a chance to use that intuition to grow. Necessity is the mother of invention, and we need the necessity of being happy people in this freaking world, despite whatever's going on, despite whatever's being blown at us. You ever notice that some people, it always just works well for them? They get up and things fall together, while other people, you get up, you struggle, you fall. You're like, what the hell? It's because that person's energy is in line with what they believe and what they want to receive in their lives. And they believe it so wholeheartedly that it manifests because they simply don't see any way it would not. That's the power of manifestation. That's the power of affirmations, aromatherapy, and of course, astrology. So I'm going to ask you, because I go live at least once a week and I have a lot of different things going on. So definitely follow me on all social medias. But I'm going to ask you, what would it take for you to be happy? Just think about it for a second. What does true happiness look like to you? How do you define it? You don't have to answer the question. I just want you to sit with the question. I want you to think about it because that's where we're going right now. If you've ever had a dream, if you ever had a desire and you put yourself on the back burner or just gave up, this is the time for you to pick yourself up, dust your stuff off, and let's try again. I won't quit on you if you do not quit on me. And I have a pretty good track record with the clients that do their part because I can only advise and support. And I got pretty good connection to prayers. I got a prayer circle every week and we pray for everything. And I got to tell you, pretty much everybody in there has gotten plenty of manifestation on a regular basis. But it's that collective mind. And I'm going to do that with the GAP program, the Guided Astrology Program. Now, you can check it out at countessbyari.com. The intro price now is $9.99. Regular price is $29.99. It's less than $10 a week. But those links that you get, the private seminars that we'll be doing, the insight, the programs, man, you can't beat it with a stick. Because I can't be everywhere. I can't be everywhere. I wish I could, but I can't. So I had to develop a way to reach out and connect with you guys and see you thrive and succeed. Now, there's also free affirmations available at Countess by Ari. Guys, check it out in my bio. I do try to leave links. I'm pointing down, up somewhere, but there are links available. And listen, you got to remember one thing in this world. You are blessed and highly favored. And lastly, before I go, I want to say happy Juneteenth. I'm a Juneteenth celebrator. Just a quick history of Juneteenth. It took a long time for this holiday to be acknowledged for the African American community, but let me say why. When the slaves were freed, Texas was the last state that announced it. It was 2.5 years that they did not tell their slaves they were free. And when they finally figured out that they had the biggest goddamn party you ever want to see. I'm talking all the fixings, all everything, dancing, music, celebrations. So in Texas, where I grew up, Juneteenth was a regular holiday. Even before it was a federal holiday, this time of the year, because it's also dads, grads, Juneteenth, it was a festival of feasts. So wherever you are, please try to support your African American community. Just go and buy something from their stores, give them a smile, leave a positive review. Just be supportive, because as long as we keep growing individually, we can always grow collectively. So I'm going to go now because I want to go celebrate some Juneteenth. I'm not sure where I'm going to end up. I do know it's going to be fun. And I just want you guys to remember you are blessed and highly favored. And I'm here for you. All right. And stay blessed. See you next week. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ciao.